It'd be Wednesday. It landed on you, Marns.
Yeah, as I said that, I knew I was going to do that.
It'd be Wednesday, and the crew are here. I'm in a room with people who've spent the last 24 hours together at an airport. Vibes are immaculate. Hello, chat. How are you?
Oh, yeah, I'm not allowed to this week. I'm going to stop humming.
Tell us about that.
Not a great start then.
Yeah, because you know how the auto cuts to me?
Yeah.
During tipping last week, I went back and watched it as I edited it for YouTube. And just everything that you guys say, I'm like, and then it just cuts to me like constantly while you guys are talking.
You are a hummer.
Today?
You definitely. I could say it's a real thing, Tom. Did you know that?
Humming?
Yeah, so we'll be watching a sport and you'll be like, he's killing them. And you go, like it is a thing you do.
I know. Hyper aware.
I think it's great.
You're a bit of a hummer too.
Well, because Michael Barbaro, who does the Daily for the New York Times, he explained it once because he'll constantly interject with and he explained the importance of it. And I just love good interviewers and good interviewing style. So I think I try and yeah, because it's because if you're listening, and then you hear him, you want to hear his voice every now and again, to acknowledge that he's still listening and paying attention. I don't know. He explains it really well. And
it's a dance, even though you've got the space. It's still a dance. It's still a supporting thing. Hell yeah! Shall we just crack in?
Yeah, we absolutely can.
Yeah, I think we.
Greg's in the chat.
Hey, Dad.
Mr. Vinyl.
Hey, Greg.
And I assume my mother as well.
A lot of
they watch on the telly
in the chat now.
They do watch on the telly. It's very sweet. They cast it up to the big TV in the lounge room.
Things that make you go, Tom and Marnie talking about and McDonald's.
Is that it?
Yeah, and then I guess I'm thinking about other things that make you go, get that branded alcoholic drink out of the shot.
I was wondering.
Because I'm not sponsored by it. I'm drinking it.
Also, what was going on with was it a wine bottle just full of friendship bracelets?
That's mine. So that's the one.
I know it's yours. That's mine.
Don't you fucking try and take it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I saw it in a shot and I was like, the fuck is that? I knew that it was a bunch of friendship bracelets on a wine bottle, but it was never explained.
He wanted to incorporate several things last year into the set. The blues Guernsey we got given.
Great.
The friendship bracelets. I think this is the only thing he's actually committed to. So he got a bottle and put
he committed it for whatever.
Yeah. We should turn that light on so the Sharon light's up.
I need to bring you my AFMA from 1997 that I stole.
That's lovely. I should bring in my quill next week that I'll have one on Friday night.
Can you put the Sharon lamp on as well, Brody?
Oh, that looks great. But I think we should do what you said, where we should get them all framed together.
Oh yeah,
and put them mine and yours. But I actually keep mine for strength when I'm feeling sad.
Well, that's always so many people on the tour came and gave us these, and they all of mine are about 9/11, and I was like, I wanted to put it in the shot because of the gesture of it.
Yes, I think that's great.
It's a very lovely. Is that
a Wheel Day one? No, it just says the best day.
But it made me think as well that, No, I brought this on a podcast with Jack Rewalt. He has a podcast about, and you have to bring two special things in.
My mate Jack.
And the reason I brought this on is because I was talking about the journey of making this show and my personal journey of what I wanted and what it is now and all this kind of sincere stuff. So I recommend listening to it when it comes out. But then also Jack or the co-host Ben goes, what do they say? And I was like, And there's this long pause where I'm like, just
Big sound.
and I just every time someone's like tower, I'm like, oh Jesus.
Can I say though, if you see me at games and I'm wearing friendship bracelets, I'll trade with you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I saw a footage of Taylor Swift giving a hat to a little girl the other day.
Yeah, the 22 hat.
And then she copied us, and they swapped bracelets, Marnie.
Yes,
so
Taylor Swift copied us. Motherfucker. All right.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, on that note, let's do it. Do you want to bounce that pill and I'll lead us up?
Okay.
Oh, yeah. All right, you ready, Tom?
Yeah.
All right, folks, it's finally here. Round 0. It's time to start the week. It's been... Just kidding. It's round 2. We've uploaded the right one. It's time to...
Bounce that pill.
Little comedic joke there.
It was very funny.
Because, folks, last week... let's talk through that very quickly. Last week, Thursday morning, 7 a.m, the footy's beginning. It's a big, exciting day. I roll over, check my phone, which is a bad, unhealthy thing to do, I think, but I do it. Do you do it? Roll over, check your phone?
Yes and no, but I get up at 6 a.m. and like straight to Pilates. So I don't have time. Well, actually, the first thing I do is put a podcast in. It's actually a problem. I can't sit in silence. I can't even brush my teeth now in silence.
Right.
Anyway,
yeah.
but
that's
you keep
good
going.
for the podcast community, though.
Yeah.
And I had a few messages saying, I think you've uploaded the wrong podcast. And then I was like, well, I'm awake now. and then I was like, well, I can't get onto Tom now. I've messaged, I politely went, hey, Tom. How are you, Tom?
Good. How are you?
And I listened. I was like, yes, it is last week's podcast. And but it was it was good news and bad news. It was bad news in that the old pod had been uploaded. 2 people were listening and cared.
Thank you for listening and caring.
And then I was like, well, let's find out all together what time Tom wakes up.
Because you replied to me straight away.
Did I? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
because
woke up to many
Broden
messages.
put it in the chat. We'll just wait until Tom wakes up to deal with this.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, fuck, well, I've already messaged him.
Yeah.
And you replied to me like straight away.
Because in my defense, I had been up very late editing
Yeah.
and I have 2 young children.
Yes, no, absolutely. I was like, this is the end of Tom. I think we've reached the maximum Tom. Because it was the same on that podcast. If you listen to it as well, you're like, you're not there. You're not there.
You're not there.
So the funniest thing to happen was for that podcast not to go up.
So sad. So sad.
but,
Just one click of the button.
And then
Then what happened?
And then Wacky Willie
this week.
Yeah.
went up yesterday.
No.
When it should have gone. It went up Tuesday
No.
for a brief period.
That wasn't my fault.
123 people listened to it, Tom.
That wasn't my fault. That was actually my fault. Both things were my fault.
But I just say, I think it's a good week. But welcome, Tom. You've had, and we've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Because you 3 in the room, being Marnie, Tom, and Patty, have just come back from beautiful Tasmania, which we'll get into in the news because it'll make the news. But hey, how is everyone? We doing good? Everyone's cooked and tired because of. You'll spoiler alert. You'll find out why. But I wanted to just quickly ask you before we crack in. We went to the footy together on Sunday.
We did.
Marnie and I were 2 of the 9 people at the football on Sunday.
Yep.
And you sat next to me as my life fell apart and Melbourne lost by 2 points. And I just wanted to ask you, how did I take it?
I was prepared, I think, going in for you. Because even just like when we arrived, you were like, you're not wearing your Giant scarf. And I was like, well, yeah, I'm not going to because I know that if Melbourne start to lose, it won't be funny. I won't be allowed to cheer at GWS. I'll have to just sit quietly. And I did. I thought I did a really good job as to cheering both teams and then being so quiet in the 4th quarter because I knew
You actually...
not to say anything.
If I was to profile how you watched the show.
So respectfully.
It was
of
like
your feelings.
you were like a nun, like in that your hands like ooh, like you were very. But I was
and I cheered at all of Melbourne stuff with you and Mitch.
Yeah.
See, I reckon that loss, you should have been up and down, jumping up and down, stoked because that's going to be your best win this year, mate, losing to the Giants by 2
Watch
points.
your mouth. But when Aiden Johnson kicked a goal, I just ran. I ran away.
You did, yeah.
But then when they got ahead, did I go mental? Did I get aggressive with what did I do
When Giants got ahead.
at the end?
we were just out of there. You almost left me behind. You were so quick to the car park. I had to like run after you.
Well,
Like, see your short legs. Bye.
I was like, see your short legs, bye. I never said see your short legs, bye.
It was the vibe I was getting.
I never mentioned your
Get in
legs.
the car. We're going.
And that I can see. Get in the car. But then, in my defense, we made incredible time.
We did. It was very impressive.
Incredible time.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, that's great. Marnie, shall we do the news?
Yeah.
It's time for the news with Marnie Vinyl. I don't think I've ever called anyone tiny legs.
You said it in your head. I could see. She can't keep up.
Oh, great. All right. What's top of the news? Tiny legs.
That is good. I like that, actually.
I think it is so funny, Tom, that you think you have no opinions about this Tasmania trip because I've never heard you rant so passionately
interesting.
about anything. This is a direct quote on the way to the airport out of there.
Okay.
This city is not ready for an AFL team.
Okay.
All right. So that's like a prologue.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we'll take it
That's
back.
the headline.
Last week, Tassie reached out and were like, "Hey, Broden, we want you to come meet Rumman." I was like, "Fuck, are you talking about?" And then they said it's the mascot, and I said I can't go. And they went, I'm writing important sketch comedy. and they were like, we really like you to come down. I said, well, can Marnie, Tom, Paddy come? And they were like, yes. And I was like, to you guys, like, oh, they want you to go down. And I thought all of you would be like, no, I've got other stuff on. You're like, let's go.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, get me out of the house.
Yeah, I'm content king.
You're content king. You were
Yeah.
the tipping king. Now you're the content king.
Yes.
So I'm just sitting in the office yesterday as this menagerie and this battalion makes a military move down to Tasmania to create, essentially their mandate was to create content for the arrival of Rumman.
Ramen.
I can't stop saying Rumman.
Like, just think like rum and coke.
yeah, rum and coke.
Or rum one shortened. Ramen.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, rum one is like the weird one, I think, is how I think
Oh.
of it. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's why there's the apostrophe there.
So Marnie and Tom, tell
What
me
a big
about
Tom.
your adventure to the island.
Yeah, what's there to say, Marns? You tell us.
Well, I feel like it started really well. We got there. We went straight to the place we were supposed to go.
Yeah.
We filmed our content. And then we had about 5 hours to spare that we just sat at one cafe with some of the Marmalade boys. And then we just sat at a pub.
Can I interject for a minute? When you say you went to the place, you went to the Theatre Royal, yes?
Yes,
The
yeah.
oldest active theatre in Australia.
It is beautiful.
I told them all about it. I explained to them about how there's the original wall. And
Yeah, the
they copped a
sandstone.
lecture.
I
Like,
loved it.
copped a lecture?
I think it's beautiful.
So-
Beautiful location, bad lighting, but
So-
gorgeous location.
We organised for me to have a Google Meet with Rumman. And so I'm sitting in the office here. I said to the guys, can we just stop writing sketches for 10 minutes? I have to take a call with a fucking devil. And they're like, sure. So I set up and then all of a sudden they're like, they're here. And I was like, what is this? And then just very slowly, this devil beast walks into frame. And I'm like, I'm kind of taken for a minute. And then I'm like, Rumman, it's lovely to meet you. And then it just stares back at me with these dead eyes and this t-shirt skin.
Yeah.
And I was like, Rumman, can't wait to. And I was like, I'm really horrified.
Yeah.
And then I got off. But then please go on. So then you had to sit around for 5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we met the mascot. It was really cool. It had like big jaws. Marnie put her head in it. I put my head in it.
And it poops.
Yes, and I do think that because it's been just very categorically pulled apart on social media,
Of course.
but it is made in partnership with Terrapin Puppet Theatre, and I hope that I've said that
Yeah,
correctly.
that's right.
Is it a
Yeah.
puppet?
Because it's
Yeah.
a puppet. It's
Wow. So
actually
you
so
could
impressive
open the
that
drawers
there's
and
one
stuff.
person in there. Because even like everyone's making fun of the dance, fine, whatever. The woman inside, Greta, great job, Greta. She was moving both the arms as well as the head.
Really?
It's actually like very impressive. And also
Outstanding.
it was 15 kilos, so I don't know how it's supposed to last 4 quarters, but very impressive for her to be doing that. It's made in collaboration with school children, which fine, you can tell.
Hell yeah.
And like all the fur's made from recycled school uniforms.
Oh.
Like there's so much
Oh.
care and thought that's been put into this mascot. And if you don't like it, okay, fine, but you can do it respectfully.
I thought in the discourse that I saw is like a lot of people who watch footy, they kind of wake up I reckon they wake up in the morning and go, cereal? Shit, this is a disgrace.
Yeah.
And then they get in the shower, taps, this is disgraceful water. Like, that's just how they go through life.
Yeah.
So to see a beautiful puppet from Tasmania is, that's
Yeah.
awful. But I saw a lot of people, that's fucked. I love it.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of Tasmanians say that.
Because
And
they get
that's-
it.
They
Yeah.
get it. I had a lot of
get
comments on my TikTok being like, I'm from Tasmania and I love it for
Yeah.
X, Y, Z
Yeah.
reasons. I'm like, yeah,
But
it's
also,
for you.
I think this might be a crazy conspiracy theory. I reckon they're 4 years off game day. This will not be the game day mascot. This is
No,
something they wanted
can't
to
be.
announce. Their main thing was it's 1 year since the club has launched. We want to keep those memberships up. We want to celebrate and announce something. So I think this is just something
beautiful.
for fun for 4 years. And then the game day mascot will just be plastic.
I think it's Rumman. I think Rumman's sick. Once Zach and Mark in the office saw Rumman, we were riffing on Rumman for about 35 minutes. I was made in a lab from small and real devils. I never saw the sun. And they're just like, you think that the Bass Strait is there to protect you. I can swim now. I'm Rumman.
I actually think a Tassie Devil mascot would have an Australian accent.
Oh, yeah.
True.
I am built from the horrors. I am Rumman. My goal is to cheer on the boys. Anyway, I loved Rumman.
Yeah. And I loved the enthusiasm there. Like being in, so when we get back to the theatre and it's like the media launch or whatever.
Yeah.
And it is like, I mean, I know I'm like a sucker for this shit, but
Yeah.
I was like goosebumpy. It was
Yeah.
like, this is a new club. One of their slogans being like grit in our veins. And I could feel that. And it felt really cool and special. And then you get on social media and I'm like, oh, everyone
Yeah.
just sucks.
Yeah, it was
is.
such a
It is.
privilege to be there. It really
Yeah,
was.
it was.
Tell me
Yeah.
what it was like to be in the room when Rumman did the 3-minute interpretive dance.
It was fun and exciting. And we were filming it and having a laugh.
Were you gripped with it? Were you gripped with the dance?
Yes,
Yeah.
I was genuinely really worried that in some of the videos that were put up, you would be able to hear me being like, woo!
Yeah, no, you can.
I was
You can.
terrified that you would hear my squeaky little voice cheering.
Because the whole thing is that Ramen
Cheering them
doesn't
on.
have a voice, so we're their voice. So
Yeah.
when Ramen was doing like, whoa, everyone goes, whoa.
Yeah, well, we all
so
had to
we were
do
all
that.
doing it.
That's the most Tasmanian thing. This is
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
It's going to bring Tasmania together.
Yeah.
So, because in the video, it's just like Rumman's doing some weird little dance moves, like a step to the left, step to the right
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And it looks very heavy.
Yeah, 15 kilos.
Oh man, it's so cool. So then, what a wonder. And
They
then
had some donuts, some devil's donuts.
I love. It looked like the wedding donuts at some like quirky wedding couples when I go to their weddings. Like, we're not doing cake, we're just doing donuts on sticks.
A devil wall. A devil wall, a donut wall. And I did the most child thing to
Yes.
that over here where I wanted to join in on eating a donut, but it was too sweet. So I just ate the bottom and gave the top with all the icing to top.
Money. Leave it in the back seat of the car or something.
I do feel like the more time I spend with Marnie, the more I'm finishing her food. I feel like that's confirmed. I eat most of Marnie's food at this point.
That's so funny. All right, so you're at the pub, you're at the thing all day, the marmalade guys are there.
Went to the launch.
And then you do that successful, you head to the airport, you
there's-
come home,
There's
yes?
special context here, right? So when we get there and we sit down, we're waiting for the event to start, and Jack Rewalt spots us, beeline straight up to us.
Lovely.
Jack Rewalt, my
Lovely.
friend of the pod, Jack Rewalt.
Great friend of the pod. And he says straight away, when did you guys come up? We say this morning. He's like, are you going home tonight? And he goes, 8:55 Jetstar, right? And we go, yeah. He goes, it's always delayed. If it gets to 10, it's getting cancelled. Don't even bother. If it gets to 10 and it hasn't, and we went on that plane, don't bother. I catch that flight all the time. Oh, okay, Jack, interesting.
And he was on that flight as well, I believe.
Yes, yeah, he was coming home on that flight as well. Then money.
Okay, so then you go home, you fly home to Melbourne, go to bed?
No.
So we go to the airport.
Yeah.
And straight away, we find out it's delayed, like immediately.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we'll settle in. I made some fun Instagram content.
Yeah. We had a laugh. We had a bunch of
laugh.
coffees because we knew we were delayed. And like the thing is, the plane had to get from Melbourne to Hobart. So we could see that even though they were telling us we were half an hour delayed, the plane hadn't left Melbourne yet.
Oh, God.
And I don't think we should skip over that crucial detail that we had some coffees at 8 p.m. at night.
Like, a lot. And Marmalade Boys were there and we were making fun content with them.
Yes, okay. And then what? And then the plane comes and you fly home, yeah?
Yeah, no. Then Jetstar cancelled the flight.
But also, that's when you actually like fully activated dad mode because you literally were on the phone straight away. It was like, yep, you've got 5 rooms. Okay, sweet, we'll be there soon. You collected me, Patty, the Marmalade Boys. Took us in a taxi straight to a hotel. You just went straight to just like chatting away, gave me my key, and you're like, off you go. See you in the morning. Do you need anything from Woolies? I'll get you a toothbrush. Like, it was amazing.
I'm so excited that you got to meet tour manager Tom.
Yes, it was actually so impressive.
Because this man he picks me up like a baby and carries me around the world like this.
I didn't have to worry about anything.
It was funny though.
You should see him with Zach, because Zach asks for sugar-free drinks and sugar Red Bulls, and he's always getting the rider. Did you get a rider? You should ask for a rider.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't realise I could ask for anything from Woolies. I just asked for a toothbrush to be polite, and then I found out you and Patty got a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, 100%. We went and got jocks and, because we had no clothes and
Could
stuff.
have had jocks.
And the most outrageous thing's coconut Rexona.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So tell me about the Coke. So who's putting coconut Rexona
So,
on?
so Marnie has started to bully me about the fact that I use a coconut aerosol
You also
spray.
met sleep-deprived Marnie.
Yeah, but she doesn't understand that that's my aroma. That's what blends with my natural musk.
No
Broden.
one naturally smells like coconut.
I'm a shea coconut butter man.
Okay,
Right.
so there's an antiperspirant. Do you
Yeah.
use antiperspirant?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. It's just Rexona, whatever. It's the green silver cans.
Coconut.
Yeah, and there's a coconut one. And it blends very well with my musk. And Marnie was laughing at me. I made Marnie smell my armpits. I'm like, smell the coconut.
That's
she was like,
true.
So
That's
this
not
is
nice.
18 hours into being together. You're forcing Marnie to smell your armpit. Smell the coconut.
But then Patty was like, hey, let me have a sniff.
Okay, so it was all and now I'm starting to feel where it all fell apart. So you immediately go bang, book into the Hilton.
Yeah, so that was the funniest part because the Marmalade
It was
boys
so
were
fancy.
like, oh, we were just going to sleep on the street. I'm like, boys, I'm not allowing you to sleep on the street. You're coming to the Hilton.
yeah. It was so fancy.
And then so Jetstar have to pay for this, obviously.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I haven't actually done it yet, but I believe they have to pay for it. And then,
Also, and they got, like, on arrival, warm cookies.
Oh yeah, like
it
a
was
real Hilton vibe.
and that's the
fancy.
thing. That's the thing. Hey, can I just tell the listeners now a tour thing, right? I was looking at the hotels because Jack had told me that this flight's going to get cancelled, right? I was looking at the hotels and I was looking at some of the cheaper options, Travelodge, Ibis, and stuff. And a lot of them, the contact numbers for the Hobart is just like a mobile phone number that goes to the night manager. You don't want to fuck with that. If it's a 10 o'clock in Hobart and you're calling some night shift manager's mobile number, no. If you have the privilege and the position to be able to afford a night in the Hilton, just go to the Hilton because they have
How
people
much
on
was
all
it?
night. It was like $400, so it wasn't
Each?
cheap. Yeah, well, I ended up Marmalade shared a room, me and Patty shared a room, Marnie got her own room.
Wow, nice.
So it costs about like $1,200, but Jetstar
yeah,
will pay
but
for it.
490. Yeah, great.
So if you're in the position to do that, don't fuck around with trying to get budget stuff at 10 o'clock when you're stranded. But anyway, the big drama was we thought the flight had been cancelled in the morning as well.
But did you have a buffet breakfast?
Oh yeah, I got up at 5 a.m. and had a buffet breakfast, yeah.
$39.
It was $39. It was a rip-off for sure.
Yeah, they always are.
Yeah, but I got pancakes, bacon, eggs, mushrooms, hash browns, a little carrot cake, and a couple of coffees.
And did you finish what Marnie didn't finish?
No one else woke up in time. I was having breakfast by myself
I
at 5
did.
a.m.
I actually got your messages like, there's no way. I'm like, no, there's no way I'm in a state to be sociable.
Yeah,
like
totally,
you wouldn't have enjoyed me at 6 a.m.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so then you get to the airport again.
Yeah, so on the way, we couldn't check into our flights because they were booked in by a travel agent. So Paddy, good content creator Paddy over here, calls and he's like, I'll try and call and just find out. And they tell him on the phone, oh, your flight's cancelled. And he's like, what? Like, yeah, the 10 a.m. makeup flight is cancelled. We sent you an email at 7:18. So we're like, what the fuck? We're literally going to the airport for another cancelled flight. So we tell the Marmalade guys, like, you don't come, your flight's cancelled. We don't know what's going on. They were trying to put us on a flight tomorrow. And I was like, Jetstar, I actually hate you so much. But then we got off the phone and I Googled our flight number and it was still there and it still said it was going, even though a representative of Jetstar had told us it was cancelled.
Yeah.
So I was like, hang tight. So I called the AFL and I was like,
The AFL.
yeah, I called the AFL's travel agent and I was like,
You got Andrew Dillon.
I called Andrew Dillon. I said, no, like, you know how we use Stage and Screen, they have their own one.
Really?
They
Yeah.
have like,
Oh, they booked it through them.
yeah, they have their own
Okay.
travel. So I made the AFL get on it and find out if this flight was still going ahead. And they were like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, okay, false alarm, told the Marmalade boys come. And then we finally got home.
And then you said,
What did I say,
And then
Marnie?
on the way to the airport, I've jotted down notes that you said, imagine 50,000 Collingwood supporters stranded at Tassie Airport. This infrastructure is not ready.
he went full dad mode.
But then you started talking about a potential ferry service would be a good idea.
Yeah. So the problem is that fucking bridge, right? The bridge, if you want to get out of Tassie in the morning to go to the airport, there's only one lane on the bridge. So what happens is it's a bottleneck coming out of the city, right?
Yeah, we experienced
and they're not
it.
going to be able to fix this bridge in time for the 30,000 Collingwood fans. So I think we start a ferry service to the airport. or to the mainland. No, not the mainland, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, there's one bridge. I know there's one bridge.
But also, so that's the first problem, right? But also, if Jetstar 855 is your only fucking option home on a weeknight, we've got to fix that. I think the Hobart Airport's got to double in size, and we're going to get some more flights going. Better roads, better infrastructure. Andrew Dillon is to go down there, start widening freeways.
I was talking to Jack last night because I was just sitting at home going, just messaged you. I go, I'm so fucking sorry, guys. I felt so guilty.
It was so fun. I was in control.
I messaged Jack and I was like, you can't tell any of these players you're going to try and recruit down to this place. You cannot tell any of them about this. Yeah. You cannot tell Harley Reid.
Yes, exactly.
And he's like, Harley Reid's not getting on a Jetstar flight.
Yeah,
ever.
I was just like, they're genuinely not ready. Like, imagine, like, obviously that all the airlines will start putting on more flights, but I don't think they have the infrastructure for more flights.
On the thing, it said to me that they were doing work, which was why there was a curfew. So usually,
yes, so I think they are like making upgrades there, but also this bridge is going to be a huge issue. So
enough with the bridge, man.
So it was like 2 Ks to get onto the bridge, and it was on Google how it gives you the.
Marty's only been talking about the bridge for 9 hours.
Marty, you wrote it on news. This is what we're talking about. So on Google it gives you like a +10 or whatever.
Yeah.
So we had 3 Ubers cancelled because it was like going to take them 15 minutes just to go a kilometre to our hotel. And then from there, you're sitting in +15 red Google traffic. So it took us 40 minutes to get to the airport from our hotel, which is a 10-minute drive.
Why? Because
of this bottleneck that the bridge caused.
Now imagine 50,000 Collingwood supporters on that bridge.
Exactly. They can fly down for a Friday night game. Some of the Collingwood supporters want to fly out after the game.
What other quotes you got from Tom?
That's the only quote I wrote down.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Because you walked in today and you were, I haven't got much to say about Tassie.
Yeah, I forgot that I said anything,
The whole way to the airport, you were just raving about the infrastructure.
They're not ready, but I think if they put me in charge,
we can work some things out. There's a Subway at the Hobart Airport, yeah?
No.
At the petrol station.
Oh, a Subway sandwich place. I thought you meant like a connecting rail service. I was like, yes, Broden, this is what we need to be talking about. A connecting rail service. That makes sense. Right to like Macquarie Street, right to where the stadium will be, underground the whole way, express.
They're not building a Subway in Hobart, Tom.
They need to if they want this team.
Oh, I did think of another quote that I was like, that's so funny.
Yeah.
This is unhinged.
This is not good. I'm going to paraphrase this, but you have so much respect for influencers now and you'll never bag how hard their jobs are.
Yes.
Who'd you say that to?
Because we were down as when I called the AFL and I was like, our flights are like, oh, are you on the influencer list? So we were down as like social media influencers. And I was like, their jobs are hard, man. You got to organize hotels in the middle of the night. Are you flying all the time? You got to make content constantly.
It is true.
It's difficult.
And once you make the content, it's gone forever.
Yeah. But we made a lot of good content.
Oh, that's so funny, guys. Thank you for doing that. Yeah. Let's move on to... Well, Ramen is great.
Yes.
And the bridge?
Needs a couple more lanes, I think.
Great. All right.
I don't know how to segue into something serious.
We can do it. Let's do some other news. Obviously, a lot of fun weeks. I've been keeping an eye abreast of the news while you've been away. The last thing I will say is Fox Footy stole Tom's footage. On their news last night, they showed Ramen dancing, and I looked at that footage and I said, that's Tom's footage. So I want to know who at Fox Footy, whether it's Dunstall or Cam Mooney or Jared Waitley, if you're stealing Tom's reels, I'm coming for you. All right?
Yeah.
Move on. Money. That's my segue for you.
We've had one full round of footy and a very full tribunal, and the verdicts are in. North Melbourne defender Jackson Archer, Richmond Spearhead and Hawthorn defender Jack Scrimshaw all had their respective suspensions upheld at the AFL tribunal on Tuesday night.
Some controversial.
Yes.
Some not.
I would say the most contentious of that would be Archer's, where everyone seems to have 2 cents about that decision. So his 3-match suspension for rough conduct on Western Bulldogs defender Luke Cleary is upheld. There was that sickening collision where thankfully Cleary is in the clear.
From my understanding.
Well, he's got a concussion, which is obviously terrible, but there's no spinal damage.
Waitley and Gary had a good sort of breakdown of why he got, and Zeta had it on why he didn't get overturned, because he said he was going for a tackle, not trying to avoid the collision.
Yes, so it was careless, severe impact, high contact. The severe impact and the high contact really doing him there because there wasn't really... I've had it described by so many people as cars.
Yes.
Like everyone's
Yeah.
using the like if
So
it was an
s-
intersection,
So someone's Lightning McQueen, yeah?
someone's a Lightning McQueen. But basically, Luke Cleary went low, which he's every right to do, and then Archer collected him high.
Yeah.
And because it was so severe and it was high, and because he did have the option to not run as fast as he did, that it was upheld. But I find it very interesting because most past and current players, including Cleary, said he did no wrong there. Like Archer did no
Yes.
wrong there. Even like Luke Beveridge said like it's an unfortunate accident.
Yeah.
But then there's a lot of media people who are really backing in the suspensions. You had Jake Nile write a column about it, Matt Walsh for ESPN write a column about it, and sounds like you had some interesting.
Well, yeah, they were saying it was the AFL, I believe, said something along the lines of there's a reason you don't see this more is because a lot of players opt not to get into that circumstance. So, and then Jared Waitley said, I agree with that actually, because he was initially quite, this should be overturned, and then was like, oh, hang on, actually, this is an interesting point. So, yeah, no,
It's hard to know having never played football, but I was watching it and I was going, oh, yeah, like me and Paddy were talking about it. Yeah, maybe he should have slowed down a bit or taken a few steps to try and, and then you watch it in real time, you're like, oh, yeah, that's fucked. Like, that's just so unfortunate and
painful
sucks.
for
Like,
everyone involved.
And everyone was just going so fast. These athletes are so quick and it's just like so difficult to stop yourself at that speed, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I think it would be an entire year of talking about rough conduct and the AFL tribunal, but they can take it to the AFL appeals if they want to.
I'm after some rough conduct with the Fox Footy team who took Tom's reel. That's what I'm after.
Darcy Moore has taken over from Paddy Dangerfield as the AFL PA president. Dangerfield is going to remain on the board, but he held that role as president since 2018. And he saw a lot, particularly like the first pay deal with the AFLW players through. And I think that he's going to enjoy having a bit of, I don't want to say spare time because he still does a lot, but a bit of his time back.
Go fishing.
And Darcy Moore's going to have a lot on his hands. The league's currently in talks about the drug policy, which they want to see refined and strengthened, and also the next CBA expires. Well, the current CBA expires in 2027. So, Darcy Moore, can we please get a full AFLW season?
Yeah, Marnie, this concerns me, this Darcy Moore president stuff. I'm very concerned. Do you want to know why?
Because he's a Collingwood player?
No, because he's double J aligned. And because is it going to get trendy? AFL players going to have to get trendy now. He wears a Rainer suit, which is in my Yabusele show, the big purple suit with the cowboy thing. He wears those suits. And I'm just worried because Paddy Dangerfield down the coast, fishing, very, old world. This Darcy Moore is going to become trendy and cool. That's my worry. And so I would like Darcy to come on and explain your position.
I think you should get Darcy on. I think he would be happy to chat. But on that, my favourite tweet about this is from the back pocket. It just said, "We love Darcy Moore over here and think this is going to make exactly the right type of person have a complete meltdown." Good stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I'm worried about the trendiness. That's my concerns. So Darcy, come on.
And also Chloe Malloy joined the board. Yay.
Chloe Malloy, cool. Remember that time
In
Chloe
Sydney. Yeah.
accosted our car?
Yep.
Oh, yes. I remember you telling me.
She was
that.
recovering from her ACL.
Yes.
And we almost ran her over.
Yeah, I was like, how's your knees? Like, it's all right.
And then I said, "Do you want a friendship bracelet? I have one with your name on it." She goes, "No, it's all right."
Yes. So
You just keep that, love.
no, thank you.
No, thanks.
Cool.
Gold Coast defender Charlie Ballard will miss the remainder
Boo.
of the season after scans have confirmed an ACL rupture of his left knee. The 25-year-old has been a pretty crucial cog for your Suns, Tommy.
100%.
Where's he play?
He's the second tall defender. So Sam Collins usually takes first. He takes second. So he was the one that JVR got punched in the head on accident.
Is that the Moon?
Yeah, that one. So Charlie is one of those club people that is incredibly important, totally underrated. No one's heard of him, gets 10 disposals a game, but is so important. So that's a huge, huge play for the Suns. Luckily, we recruited like 80 halfbacks, so hopefully they can shift some stuff around and cover him. But awful.
Gold
awful.
Coast with your recruits. Interesting.
And in the AFL space, my goodness, in the ACL space, Link McCarthy is going to undergo interesting surgery because he did his second ACL inside 10 months. And so he's going to do a type of surgery that instead of replacing the torn ACL with a graft from the hamstring, which is what usually happens, surgeons are going to graft from the patella tendon, which is from the bottom of the kneecap to the top of the leg, which can have a quicker comeback but is also more risky.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, fascinating.
Wants to play finals. But
Yes.
it's a huge dice roll to even be sure that you will get into the team and
I know.
that Brisbane will 100% be there. Like, it's huge.
But it's going to be interesting just to see how his recovery journey goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will keep an eye on McCarthy watch.
Yeah.
Talking about watching people closely. I do really feel for Port Adelaide, who tried to get ahead of this coaching stuff by saying we're going to put in this succession plan. Josh Carr's going to take over from Ken Hinkley. We won't have the conversations week in, week out
Oh,
about
it's happening.
Ken Hinkley and whether he's staying in charge, and yet they lose to Collingwood by 91 points, the worst defeat that Port's had under Hinkley. And so already it's, well, should you see out the year?
Port fans don't need to worry, actually, though. Do you know why? Because they're not going to lose at home this year. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
I've got good news. Did you sit
Do
there?
they play Melbourne at home?
Your money on all your short legs. No, the reason, did any of you wonder why Adelaide beat St Kilda by 9,000 points?
I know what he's going for here.
Jordan Dawson.
Well, yeah,
Well,
big
yeah,
part
fumbling
it,
of
yeah,
bags and
yeah,
such,
yeah.
absolutely, but no money, no. The Adelaide Oval has changed its pie provider, provider, if you will, and there is now a Villies stall at Adelaide Oval, which is the most Adelaide thing. So Balfour's was bought by a Perth-based company.
Yeah.
Balfour's is no longer an Adelaide.
Covered incredibly well on yesterday's episode.
I know, but now Villies pies are going to mean, I believe, that Adelaide and Port will not lose at home this year. I just wanted to say that. So I think Ken will just needs to stick it out. But also, don't you
Well,
think...
that's what he said he's going to do.
I'm going to stick it out.
Well, he said it's just round one, which, I mean, I do think you need to acknowledge a 91-point defeat. But he's got a point that it is just round one.
That's my hot take. I've said it to both of you off air, but I'll say it on air. I am going to wipe round one from the record completely when I go to tipping. Like, I'm not going to let round one results influence
Same, because
me.
I got like 3 correct.
But I'm not going to now be reactionary and go Port is bad, because so many teams just weren't ready, and they will be ready in the coming weeks. There were so many just like awful starts.
We're going to play back that quote to you in 10 minutes. when we start
100%.
tipping.
100%.
It's the journey from I'm the king of tipping to
No, but like I think this is the problem that I do. I won't say we, but a lot of people in the media do, is like that, like Freo lost, for instance. So many people are reactionary. I think like Freo will get it together and they'll still be great. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like in a way you can wipe those round one results off the ledger.
Hungy.
Yeah, also because I was listening to Dialogue Around North Melbourne on my walk here, and it being, well, they should be better by now. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, they actually should be better by now. But I said that out loud about Hawthorn at the start of last season, and look at them now.
Yeah, killing it.
Also, I think Port will win this weekend, just on that a bit more.
Who do they play?
Well, I forget who they play. They play Richmond firstly, so ha ha ha. But also Boakey. They're going to do it for Boakey, who's going to break the Port record.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
And you're going to play most games for Port, which is a good thing to play for Port. I was trying to do a joke there, but about not playing for Port sucks. But Port's great. Melbourne sucks.
Yeah.
We lost.
No, Port's
I think
great.
Port will bounce back really strong.
Yeah, they'll be
for
really
Ken
good.
and for Boak.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I've spoken about this a lot on this podcast, but when it comes to gay players within sports, I think Josh Cavallo, who is a Adelaide United player, had some really good and interesting and insightful stuff on the Unfiltered Footballers podcast, if people want to go and listen to that. But there's
Unfiltered
also
podcast.
a lot of, so it's the Footballers Union. It's
Oh, yeah.
called like FIFO.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
cool.
I don't think it's FIFO, but it's FIFO.
Yeah, it's a lot of mining companies.
Yeah. And he talks about getting daily death threats. He's the only openly gay footballer in the A-Leagues. And he talks about how it was such a weight of him when he came out to the coach and the assistant coach. It felt like 15 kilos was just lifted off his back. It was like a ramen had been taken off him. But he was kind of at the start being like, why is there no one else out? And now he completely understands because of how hard it is. And I think that is really good for anyone who wonders why there's no openly gay AFL men's players.
Yeah.
Because even if the league and the players and the coaches are all like, yes, come out, it'll be such a welcoming and safe place for you, the community can still be a really hard and intolerable place. And I think you just have to do a quick scroll on TikTok to understand that how hard it can be.
Unbelievable burden you can only imagine. And like, firstly says how good Cavallo is. What a bloke!
Oh
Like,
my God, what a bloke.
like ridiculous. But then at the other side, if anyone was wanted to keep their personal life private, you completely understand. Like,
Yes.
I couldn't do it.
And that's what I loved, because he went on ABC this morning and he finished it with saying how proud he is. And he said, I'm so proud of who I am. I am Joshua Cavallo. And I love that so much, because he didn't say I am a gay footballer. He said his name, which is just the best, because that's also a big reason I think that a lot of AFL men's players don't want to come out, is because they will forever be known as the first openly gay footballer, and that's forever just who they will be. Their identity will kind of be taken away from them.
Yeah.
And so I just love that he said, I am Joshua Cavallo, instead of saying I'm a gay footballer.
Yeah.
I just loved it. I just really loved it.
Originally from Melbourne, but now lives in Adelaide.
So we actually hate him.
Yeah, that's rough. That is
rough.
But yeah, cool.
And then when I was bored at the airport, I did a ask us anything,
Yeah,
which I had
fun.
a lot of fun making silly little videos on my Instagram. I don't know why you're looking at me like that, Tom, because you have no idea what I'm going
Because
to say.
I did the funniest one and Marnie deleted it.
Which one?
Oh my goodness. I just like panned to Tom and he said, why isn't anyone asking me any questions? But he said it with a mouthful of food and like spat on me.
I did that as a bit. I put that sandwich in my mouth. I went, why don't anyone ask me questions? And spat bread all over Marnie. And I was like, put it on your story and she refused.
This trip you had is cursed.
It was
I was
funny.
like, no, reputable people follow me, Tom. I'm not putting that on my story.
Just going to the Quills on Friday,
Yeah,
Tom.
Tom.
That's why it's funny. Therein lies the comedy.
Yeah, fair
But I
enough.
did put up an old photo of the two of you, which I thought was very funny.
That's a muck-up day.
Yeah.
And that's with Tom's ex.
Yes, it was, but I put an emoji over her face.
Yeah.
Be very respectful.
Do you know what?
What?
No. Also, my ex.
Are you serious?
We dated
Are you
her.
did you date the same person?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Yeah. A few years in between, I think.
Yep.
Well, how did you feel about that?
Fine.
Really?
I'm still fine about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
No, actually, I hope they're well.
Yeah. I think Broden dated them for a couple of months when you were like 15. Then I dated them for like 2 years when I was 17. So, yeah. A lot of
Wow,
water
wow.
under the bridge in
First
that
love.
time.
No.
For Tom, I was your first love. Anyway.
But I mostly put that up as a little bit of revenge on Broden for not being at this Tassie trip with us. But I did get a DM following it saying, young Tom is a heartthrob.
Yeah, he was a
Oh,
hottie.
watch out.
Oh my God, Marnie. Let me tell you, in 2007, line down the street in Viewbank, Marnie. Lock it on the door, single form.
Well, it took your girlfriend.
Exactly
Yeah.
right.
I was
Exact-
half the man then that I am now, literally and like, physically.
Oh my God. Like, yeah, just because he used to play guitar and have long hair and he thought he was in the Chili Peppers.
Sad.
But I did all right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I was drama captain.
Yeah.
So, you can imagine.
Yeah.
Pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, why did we get, is this news?
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Yeah. Love that.
Great. Well, that's the news. Shall we do a little thing that we call in the business called tapping? Just kidding. Tipping.
It's so funny that staring straight at me is 69-9-11 with the rainbow flag in between.
When I did the Sincere podcast.
Tipping.
Oh, dear. Year 2007. A simpler time, a better time. But even a better time is tipping time. And the first game is tomorrow night when I'm taking my sister-in-law and their American friend
Oh, fun.
to this game, Carlton versus Hawthorn at the MCG. Carlton wounded by the pain of being defeated by potentially the 18th team on the ladder. Most thought against Hawthorn, who look like they're going to win the flag. Folks, who are we tipping?
First, I want to ask you guys a question. Is this like a...
Is the Michael Voss episode ever going to drop?
Yes.
Sorry.
By the way, Saturday's guest might
Might be Michael Voss.
TBC.
Do you reckon this will be hype? Do you reckon it'll be 85,000 there?
Yep.
Do you reckon it'll be huge?
Someone who had to buy tickets to it, I think there'll be 80 plus.
Because this feels electric to me. And I think that Hawthorn will win, but not as convincingly as you might think, considering Carlton's performance last week.
I think it's a good. I think it could be
Like a 10-pointer, I reckon.
a noble.
Oh, I would love a 10-pointer.
Yeah.
I think I've tipped Carlton.
Oh, watch out.
I think.
I mean, yeah. Hawthorn sort of were a little slower last week compared to opening round.
I would extrapolate on what you were saying before about take round one for nothing.
Yeah.
I don't take round one for nothing, but I definitely think usually by round 3 every year so far we do is go, what an incredible year. You just don't know who's going to win. Like
Yes.
that happens for about 3 weeks and then it settles.
Yes, 100%.
Last year it never settled actually, but I think, well, Jesus, wow. I think that'll happen at some point this week.
Yes, I agree with you.
Who did you tip, Marnie?
Hawks.
Yeah, fair
Hawks.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm just trying to be logical about it. I actually very much rate backing in Carlton. I would love to too, but I'm trying to be logical. Every time I'm not logical, I get it wrong.
Same. I still can't believe last week I tipped the Roos. I tipped Saints. God.
How many
that's
tips? What do
crazy.
you
That was
on for?
crazy.
What do you want for total tips? Do you know off the top of your head?
No.
I'm on 6, which
Yeah,
is the
I'm on
same as
6,
Tom.
yeah.
But Tom made fun of me at the start of the week. Broden's only on 1, and then we ended up on the
Yeah,
same.
I was the king of tips, but I've fallen from grace. And it hurts down here.
Friday night is a huge game for the Western Bulldogs. They are celebrating a big thing. Let me look up what it's called.
100 years.
100 years.
And they're being called Footscray.
Yeah.
We've got to call them Footscray.
Foot's
Gotta
great
call
for
them
the week.
Footscray. I love that.
They're turning to commemorate a 100-year celebration at game at the MCG with a pre-game ceremony with the big man Bob Murphy coming back from ABC.
I see him almost every morning. Yeah, he's always in the cafe at ABC.
ABC Melbourne with Shana Vella and Bob Murphy. Hey, he played footy, but he's kind of artsy. ABC. There was a Batuta post about him being like, ABC find like the white whale of a footy player who likes books and shit. But he's a lovely
is
guy.
true.
He must
And says AFLM and gets absolutely dragged by the Daily Mail
that's
for
what it
it.
does.
which he's been doing for like 6 years.
And
I know, I love
3AW too.
it.
They go in on it as well.
Yeah.
Silly. Can I just say one thing? I saw a cool thing from Swoop Luke that Steel Sidebottom and Pendles are breaking a record as well as most games ever played together. Like biggest opening partnership ever.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. Remember Hayden and Langer?
Yeah.
It's like Hayden and Langer, but it's Steel Sidebottom and Pendles.
But they played cricket, Tom.
Yeah, but they were like an opening partnership. That's how I think of it. It's like these two have run out together for like the most games ever.
It is very cool.
That
You'd
is
hope
really
they actually get along. I mean, I know they do, but
Yeah. Well, apparently they have a spar and a red wine after every game.
after every game they have a red wine in season.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Should I fact check?
Yes, they do not do that.
Bear with me because Swoop Luke put it up, so I can double check.
Sidebottom's been playing so long that I remember being like quite young and thinking the name Sidebottom was
Having
funny.
your girlfriend still on by
Yeah, I
Tom.
know. I was like, hey, I love you forever. And Sidebottom's a funny name
Yeah.
because it
It's
thinks
great-
a bottom on your hip.
Yeah, but his first name being Steel makes it better because he has a steel side
like,
bottom.
I am Robocop. I poop out. Sorry.
Every morning at the club, they meet for a coffee, and after every match, they will jump in the spa with a Gatorade or a beer for a debrief.
Yes,
so I made up the red
they will
wine.
have a Gatorade
But I knew-
after every
no,
game.
or a beer. It says in the spa, which is nice.
Which is never. They would never have a beer after a game in season.
I think
No?
No,
Collingwood,
no.
Collingwood should make.
I've seen Stephen May at the pub.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
different.
well, that's
Yeah.
Melbourne.
Always comes back to Melbourne, doesn't it? I'm tipping Collingwood.
Oh, sorry, who they play?
They're playing Footscray.
That's great. Yes.
Yeah, I'm actually tipping Collingwood as well. North should have beaten Bulldogs last
He's
week.
tipping dogs.
No, not the injuries. No. I said Collingwood would make the top four. I think so. Yep.
Also,
Collingwood.
am I right or wrong that big celebrations can often be cursed? I know Essendon's was
They are.
cursed, but I feel like most of them are. Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
100%.
Acts as a distraction almost. You could pontificate.
Buy your own hype too much. Don't come out to play.
1:20 Saturday MCG. Adelaide Crows away from Villies taking on the Essendon Bombers, who had great heart, I thought, last week.
Yeah.
And
Heart, a lot of grit.
that's why I'm tipping them.
I'm tipping them.
You're tipping Dons?
Yeah, also because Marmalade Boys put their camera in my face, said, "What's a hot take of the week?" And the first thing I thought was, "Oh, Essendon will beat Adelaide." And I've said it on record.
I think we're both tipping wrong though. Like I think Crows are really, really good.
So this is what I'm going to say. I think Adelaide are better and will have a better season, but there's the away factor. There's the fact that Essendon are better this year. For sure, they're going to be better this year. So I feel like that puts them 50-50. So I'm going to go Adelaide by like 5 points.
Ooh.
I'm going Blues for the Hawks, by the way. Blues Hawks. I'm going Blues, by the way.
Yeah, great.
And then at 4:15 Adelaide Oval at Villiers, Richmond v Port. I'm going Port there. Although it would be just insane.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Tigers.
Oh,
Good on ya.
That'd be great.
Wouldn't that be such a fun
I
story?
mean, that's all we talk about all week.
Also, because like it just shoves it to all of the media fucking pundits.
Yep.
Like, I
yeah.
loved it, by the
Poor
way.
Ken, if that happens, like, you know.
Yes, poor Ken. But can I also say that I loved Andy Marns' take on your Saturday episode where he was talking about like how the footy media world is all about actually just hot takes and that like live and die in the day and there's no longevity in these really beautiful stories that actually make up sport. I loved that.
Yeah. You missed it when he said shags.
Oh, damn.
But you know what's interesting on money, just to elaborate on that, there's something we find in this podcast compared to all the other podcasts I work on is all of my podcasts, like 80% of a weekly listenership will be from past podcasts. Whereas with our podcast, it's like dead on arrival. So people only listen in the moment, which
Yeah.
means like, you can't go listen to Broden's round 9 last year wrap up, you know?
course,
So
yeah.
it's very interesting.
But you can go and listen to the Andy Marr episode whenever
Exactly.
you want.
That's why we started doing those ones for some
Yeah.
evergreen content.
But in a landscape of hot takes, I would just love to see Richmond build a very beautiful narrative this year.
That would be lovely.
Yeah.
Well said. And then Saturday night, only one game Saturday night? No, 2. Oh, yeah, there's only one game Saturday night, which is great.
Can you watch it or do you have to pay
Absolutely
$1,000?
not.
Yeah.
What a joke. What an absolute joke. At Marvel, St Kilda taking on Geelong. I believe that Geelong will hurt St Kilda so badly
So badly.
that they'll move them, that it'll be broadcast on Channel 7 in the news.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, 100 point win for Geelong.
Everyone
Great.
agree with that?
Yep.
Bailey Smith to have another 30 and a goal from me.
Yeah. I was the one who was big on him. I kept saying how good he was. No one listens to Dad.
Yeah, no one else has ever said Bailey Smith is a good player.
I think what's interesting, he hasn't played in 2 years, right?
Yeah.
I know that's hyperbole what I've just said there.
Yeah.
Is that the right word?
Hyperbolic.
Yeah.
Hyperbole. That's actually my biggest pet hate in the world. Is it hyperbole
Or hyperbolic.
or hyperbolic? Why is it not hyperbolic?
Right,
Or
yeah.
Anyway, whatever. I hate the English language sometimes.
Yeah. Oh,
But
I
in
agree.
the pre-season, I said, remember, I was like, I think he's really important. You guys were, and I was like, I feel like he's a Brownlow level player. Remember that?
So what I was going to
Thank
say
you.
is he hasn't played in 2 years. He let off the leash on Friday. I reckon coaches will just tag him now.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong. But I mean, it's the thing where they have like,
Who's
someone
the
will,
Saints tagger?
Jack McRae. He's the only one who goes near it.
Win,
Probably steal or Jack.
steal, Jack Steele.
That
my
would be
friend
such
from
a
Osaka.
waste, but you know,
I love Jack Steele.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Jack Steele seems like a cool cat.
Yeah.
Or a saint in this circumstance. A cool cat would be Bailey Smith.
Yeah.
Brisbane versus West Coast at the Gabba. Surprisingly, West Coast have gathered 1% of the tipping audience.
Oh.
Yeah.
And is that only because it can't be zero?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah, and also like, you know, there are some fans out there that just always tip their team, right? Yeah.
Yeah, West Coast, second biggest club in the country. Did you know that?
Yes, I did know that. On membership, that is.
Well, let's talk membership. We've been talking. Come back at that, Tom. Marvel Sunday. I'll be at this game. 3:20. By the way, might need to start a bit later again. North Melbourne versus Melbourne.
Yep.
10%. This is crazy.
I'm tipping North.
Yeah, good on you, mate.
You're going to
10%.
fall in the trap that I did last year, Marnie. I can't do it.
It's funny.
Yeah, I know.
It's funny to tip against Broden.
I've tipped North so many times last year because I was like, this is the week they upset. And like, I want to do it again. I desperately want to tip North.
I do
They're
actually
due a
think
win.
that they like are going to hit their stride around like week 7, week 8.
Yeah.
But they're playing Melbourne. It's funny.
Yeah.
Imagine if they win.
Yes.
Demons.
Imagine. I'm going to back the D's in.
Demons.
Sadly.
The Melbourne Demons.
Yeah.
They looked good. Caleb Windsor is one of my favourite players to watch.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Oh, he's so good. He's so good.
That running
So
goal.
agile.
Remind me, I have to plug something.
Yeah, please.
Melbourne fans, if you're listening, I'm doing for the Suns game the week after
Which we're going to.
in the Melbourne Football Club lounge. I've been asked to do a thing with me, Will Anderson, and Kate McCarthy, a little comedy thing. You can come.
I would like to
Yeah,
come.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
I love Will Anderson.
I'm just assuming
And Kate.
Broden will get me tickets.
Yeah, what the hell?
but yeah, come along if you'd like to come, everyone. It's like party pies and shit, and then we'll do some funny stuff, and then you can watch.
What do you mean everyone come along? Do they have to buy
You
special
can buy
tickets?
tickets. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's
all right.
like but Melbourne fans are rich, so it's like
Yeah,
it's
sweet.
like 200 something bucks.
Oh my God.
It'll be a fun experience. Like it'll be like Will Anderson,
Yeah.
and the footy.
Yeah, I'll
and Kate
fucking get up
McCarthy.
and do a bit as well.
Yeah. And Tom's going to dance.
Yeah, I'm gonna get
Tom's
up and
going to
do a bit.
recreate the rum and dance. Dum-ba-dum-ba-dum-bum. And then Fremantle Swans. So I'm really stuck with this one, right? Because Swans need a win so badly, and Fremantle also need a win quite badly, and it's their home game, Optus Stadium, 6:10 Sunday night.
Yeah, this is where I'm erasing last week's result, and I'm going, I thought Freo would do better than Sydney this year. It's their home game. Yep, I'm backing in Freo. Like, yep, last week doesn't matter.
What about the week before? They looked all right against Hawthorn.
Yeah, I just thought that like Freo are a top 4 side this year and Swans maybe, you know? So yeah, I just feel like backing in Freo.
It's a do or die for both. It's really full on for both. Like either one team, not die.
Yeah, but yeah.
But
Round 2.
yeah,
it's like win or lose.
It's win or lose. It's win or. Well, there's either two teams walking away having lost 2.
What if it's a draw?
Then it's a third option.
I mean, you know what? It's worse for the Swans because if the Swans start 0-3,
Yeah.
oh, that's way worse
Just
than
about
if
done,
Freo
hey?
loses, I reckon, yeah.
What's the thing? If you lose 4 in a row, you're done, or
Yeah. If you're
No one's
0-6 or whatever. And it looks like they reckon Chad Warner's more likely to sign this week.
Ooh.
And Luke Jackson's more likely to sign. But what did he say to your dad at Coles?
he said I'm not leaving.
Yeah,
So he lied to my father.
We can't trust
He does. He
Luke
lies.
Jackson.
He lied to Wayne Kelly.
He did.
Wayne Kelly at Baldwin Woolworth.
Wayne is such a sweet man. He
Oh,
bought
no,
us
you don't
GM
know what he-
donuts at the footy.
Yeah, that's nice.
He's just putting it on.
And then all he asked in return when we went to get our drinks was, can I please have a Diet Coke? And Broden didn't even get him a Diet Coke. And all he wanted was a Diet Coke the whole game.
That is typical.
Well, no, he put me down as well. You weren't there for that. But I got interviewed on the field for this thing I'm hosting.
Yeah.
And I came back and said, did you see that, Dad? I was on the ground. He went, yeah, is that all?
Yeah, you play it up, but he also, when you did that MCG thing, said it was the proudest moment of his life. So
He did say that. But what we're talking about is the words of a complete insane person, Wayne Kelly. He's trying to impress you, Marnie.
It worked.
You need the
It worked.
You gotta watch out for Wayne.
Yeah.
He's always bloody. No, he's all right. Okay, that's all the games. I'm tipping in that last game Swans. By the way,
I'm tipping Swans.
I'm tipping Freo.
Got my Heaney shirt on.
Mini shirt. We should talk about that weird Christmas shirt him and his partner had.
Oh,
at
we
some
should
point.
not talk about that.
That was weird.
I didn't like
Oh, I
it.
remember that. Yeah.
Just for context, for dear listeners, his girlfriend had a shirt he wore a shirt that said, I'm the stocking stuffer, and she wore a shirt that said, I'm the stocking.
Yeah.
Or the other way
Which is a good
around.
joke.
No, because he would be stuffing this.
Right. Yeah. So that's real Christmas spirit, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's a great, funny joke.
Just two gorgeous blonde people from Bondi.
Having a
bit of
pork.
fun.
Having a pork.
No.
With stuffing.
Tom!
Stop!
Tom!
No,
No, shut up.
No,
Put the stuffing in the pork.
stop it.
All right, time
Stop
for you all
it.
to go home and have a sleep. Marnie, all the best on Sunday night at the awards.
Friday night.
Friday, what did I say? Sunday. I was looking in my head. I saw Friday night, but I was saying the wrong word.
Yeah.
You all the best with raising your children.
Did you tell everyone about Friday on pod? Did we say why?
The quill.
Yeah.
You're up for a quill.
Marnie's up for a second quill.
Congratulations.
Absolutely
Thank you.
amazing.
Thanks.
What's
Everyone-
the article? Which article is it?
It's about like sports bras, and
I remember you talking about it. But it was
No,
a great
it's great.
article.
It's such a honor, Marnie.
You're
We know
doing-
you're going to win.
Yeah, it's such an honor.
Yeah.
Thank
for us
you.
to work with
And
you.
if you lose, it won't matter to us. We'll still hold you in high regard.
Oh, now I do want to talk about it. Did you know that a badly fitted sports bra, and it's not like they're provided to clubs and teams or whatever, including like national teams,
Yeah.
and it can 4 centimeters off every kilometer if you're not fitted correctly. So if you're playing AFL or netball and you're constantly running, that's actually impacting performance a lot. And it also can be really, really painful, but it's not treated as an issue because a lot of women's sports have just been like slotted into the male models,
Yeah.
including uniforms. Anyway.
There's tax deduction elements as well, wasn't there?
Yes, they're not tax deductible. So you have to go and get fitted by yourself and pay all this money, where if you punch an umpire in the face, you can claim that fine on tax.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's crazy.
But if you're, yes. Yeah, that's bullshit.
Anyway.
And what are you doing Friday?
Looking after my children. I'll probably stream, actually. If anyone wants to watch,
Yeah.
come to Dad's stream, hang out.
I'm flying to Canberra to lobby Parliament.
For better sports bras.
Yes, you've just inspired. I've booked a flight. No, I'm doing my show in Canberra on Saturday night. 2 shows. They're both sold out. So bad luck. But I've added an extra show that's going to be in like June or something. So come along to that in beautiful, beautiful Canberra. I once had food poisoning there. Have a great week. Take care. Bounce that pill. Great episode. That was so funny about the bridge shit. And
Did the chat enjoy it or not?
Genuinely, like, You came in. I didn't say anything about Tasmania. I was like, yes.
Hey, Marns, Mel's in here saying, I stopped netball in high school because my bra underwire hurt. I didn't know sports bras were a thing.
Yes.
Better sports bras and bridges. They're the key.
Bras and bridges. That's what our podcast is about.
That's what I can lobby
be.
Parliament about.
Write that down, Paddy. That's a good title.
Tom's
Bras and bridges. The footy with Marns.
the bridge collapsed once.
Did it actually? I mean, it's very thin, not wide enough, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You have strong opinions about
Can we make a deal never to talk about the bridge again? Never bring
It's
up
not
the
going to
bridge.
happen.
What was your suggestion? A ferry that would take.
Yeah, so the idea was because, where the stadium will be, it is going to be gridlocked and difficult to get out of there. It might even be a pedestrian zone, I'm not sure. So having a ferry from there just to the other side so you don't have to cross the bridge would be really good.
Could you imagine taking a ferry to the football?
Yeah, get the ferry to the football. And you could go via Mona on the way home.
Apparently-
110 game.
Apparently, a boat hit the bridge,
Oh, my Lord.
and the bridge is still down there.
Yeah,
I mean, the
right.
boat is still down there.
Oh,
Just a reminder to everyone.
Now I see why it took so long for Tassie to get a team.
Yeah.
They took one look at Hobart and went, I don't
There's
fucking
a-
know about this.
There was a Four Corners or something about the Spirit of Tassie and the delays on the new Spirit of Tassie and how much it's blown out on budget. Tassie's a funny place.
yeah, I was very much like, I'm so obviously for Tassie and the team. But I
Yeah.
was like, oh, yeah, I can see why some people were like, we're not ready for this.
Well, also, I can understand if you're, a local that don't want all these going
it's a-
50,000 Collingwood supporters when
yeah.
the infrastructure isn't ready for it either.
Yeah,
What if you
sleepy,
need to just
quiet, nice town.
duck
Yeah.
down to Coles to get Rexona coconut
Yeah.
and it takes you 5 hours?
Exactly, and they all close at 10. And the first chemist to open in Hobart this morning was 7:30.
Oh, you missed that part of your story. You had to go get
I had to
medication
go
at
get
5 a.m.
medication,
Which you can claim,
which
of course, from
Jetstar better
Jetstar.
fucking pay for, mate.
Otherwise, we're doing a whole episode about it.
Yeah,
I'm doing 2 shows in Tassie. I'm going to do a Hobart and a Launceston.
yeah, that's so good. Fuck yeah.
Will account for extra travel time when you're getting to and from the airport.
Yeah, well, I will need
Yeah,
to.
the
Yeah.
Checkers and Marmalade. I didn't send them a lobby call. I just fucking looked after my team, and they almost missed the flight.
Yeah, well, that's typical Checkers in Australia, isn't it?
Yeah, because they didn't know it'd be 50 fucking minutes to cross a bridge.
That is insane that's that bridge, but it is a beautiful area.
Oh,
down there.
it's gorgeous. Oh, we were so complimentary of it.
Don't think so.
Lucha Weta.
I got engaged there. I love it.
Yeah, all right.
It's got engaged then?
Yeah, Paddy's
Well,
parents
the
got
curry
engaged there.
sauce as well at the pub.
Oh yeah,
Proper.
Stray had a spice bag, Broden.
All right, it's time for these people to all go home to sleep. Thank you so much for joining us. It was really funny watching the numbers. Numbers are crow, and then we lost about 10 when you all lost your mind on the on Tassie, on the bridge chat. And people are, I'm not here for bridge, and then they all came back in droves.
Yeah, it wasn't a very structured part of the podcast.
Speaking about bridge, my mum's the best bridge player in Bathurst. She always wins all the awards.
Oh,
Incredible.
congratulations for the bridge work.
Okay, bye.
Okay, have a good one. See you later. Goodbye now.